All right, guys and girls, Lewis Vandervalk here, coming to you today with a video walkthrough of how to navigate Search Console. If you haven't watched our video on how to set it up, you can look at the video. It'll be somewhere up here around there. It'll definitely be down in the comments. Check out the video on how to set it up. But once you've got it set up, we're going to walk through today how you can take the data that's coming in off of your website, what you can do with it, how you can use that to influence your SEO campaigns and the content that you're building for your website, what you're doing for your Google business listing, all of that stuff. And we're going to try to make it as action-packed and value-packed as possible for you. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment below, saying that you've watched it, asking any questions, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through our website integrity junk removal here. And I've got it pulled up here in Search Console, and it comes up with this overview, right? This is the first tab that it typically loads up on. And basically, the first place that I like to look is the Performance tab. In this tab is where a wealth of information is stored, and you can access it to really dial in on what people are looking for, where they're coming from, and what search terms they're using, what questions they're asking, and then what sort of things you need to be adding more content on your site for so that your site can rank even more. Okay, so what I typically do, you've got these filters up here, and we'll just kind of go down through here. I always do by web, but you can compare here. So let's just leave it to filtering web. I like to do as big of a, if I'm really generally looking at like what people have been looking for and all of that, I'll kind of look at a big scale. The whole time this has been up, we'll leave it on 3 months here because what people are looking for over time, changes. But you can see here, you can also click in the average position. So it just overlays on the screen a graph that shows the average position. The purple one is the total impressions. And then the clicks. So impressions are basically where your site has shown up in the search results when someone's searching a term, right? So impressions are useful because it shows where you're showing up. Position shows where you actually show up when you show up in the search results. And clicks is when those impressions turn into you showing up and then someone actually clicks into your website. Ultimately, clicks is what you're looking for, but impressions and position are useful as well. So we can go in here, we can isolate it by country. I'm going to do Canada because we're in Canada. If you're in the States, you would do the States. You can do other things. You can look by page, you can do by device, you can do by search appearance. You can play around with this stuff, and you can start to, look for queries. You can play around with junk removal. You can see that sort of thing. I typically don't do that unless I'm diving deep into the SEO strategy. I'm sure I can make a bunch of videos here, but it gives you an idea of what's happening up there. Then down here, you've got the queries, right? So in Canada, in the last 3 months on the web, people have been searching for these queries. Right now it's sorting by clicks. So the most commonly clicked into one is junk removal Fredericton. We're ranking, 1.8. That's between the 1 and 2 spot on average. Integrity junk removal, appliance recycling near me. We're getting a bunch of clicks. Topsoil Fredericton. We talk about some hauling on our website. Cardboard recycling. So those are the highest clicks. If we sort by impressions, we start to see where the highest impressions are, right? So if someone's just searching junk removal, not junk removal near me or junk removal in Fredericton, we're showing up there. We're showing up on the 4th page, and getting a fair number of impressions, not that many clicks, right? Commercial junk removal is another one with a fair number of impressions. Scrap metal pickup, all of these different things, right? So you can start to look and see what are the things that you're showing up for, what are the things that you're ranking for. You can look here at the position. So local guide program, garbage dump near me. We're ranking number 1 for all of these things, but they're not super useful search terms, and they're not being searched very often if you look at the impressions. If we go back, over the last 16 months, it gives you a much larger bunch of data here. If we look at impressions, appliance recycling is a very, very big one. We haven't got any clicks in it. We have lots of impressions, but we don't really want to be showing up for that. Scrap metal pickup, we don't really do a ton of that. But junk removal, that's a big one there. Junk removal Fredericton, obviously that's where is one of the biggest. If we sort by clicks, our brand is the top number of clicks, and then junk removal Fredericton. Now, why would someone be searching for integrity junk removal? You might be asking, well, that's where your social presence, that's where your videos that you're sharing, that's where, as your name starts to become more well-known, that is where it becomes important that you share out on all these different platforms. We found when we're running ads on Facebook, we get more hits on Google because someone sees the ad and then they go over to check out our website. So I am an advocate of all different types of marketing, right? And so you can start to see here, these are the highest clicks here, highest intent searches. And we're ranking fairly high for all of these. Junk removal out on its own with no, near me or Fredericton, still getting a fair number. Dumpster rental. We don't really push dumpster rental, but we're still ranking pretty well for it. Used appliances. So you can kind of go through here and you can get some ideas, right? What are people searching for? And what are, if we search by position here, gutter cleaning, can you leave furniture on the curb? We're showing up and we're getting some clicks for these things. But it's just interesting to kind of see what people are searching for, where they're searching for it, and how they're searching for it. You can go over here to pages now, and so you can see what pages are getting a lot of traffic. So appliance removal and recycling is our highest clicked page over the last 16 months. Furniture removal, residential removal, yard waste, gravel mulch, our about page. That's often a very, very commonly trafficked page. And then some of our location pages. So Bermucto, a blog post here. So you can really start to get an idea of what's getting a lot of traffic. And then impressions wise, commercial scrap pickup, furniture, yard waste. And so you can go through these and you can look and see, okay, this is what I'm getting a lot of impressions for. Do I like this stuff? Do I want to go harder into this? Because what you're already showing up for in the searches, if you like that, the general intent of where that's headed, you want to go deeper on that. You want to build pages around that. You want to build blog posts. You want to build YouTube videos and embed them back on your site, so that Google and your website and your Google business listing and your YouTube channel all are talking about the same things, right? So if I was to really hit this hard, we're doing well. We're almost at capacity now. So it's a hiring thing right now. But if we were to hit this hard with SEO again, I would basically come over here. I would go the last 16 months. What are we getting the most impressions for? So appliance recycling, scrap metal. So junk removal, we would hit junk removal hard. So it would be, YouTube videos, work on the Google business listing, and then, pages on the website. Junk removal Fredericton, we continue to dominate that. Scrap metal pickup, we don't really want that. Commercial junk removal, that's one there we're getting a fair number of impressions for, not a ton of clicks. So it would be building out YouTube videos of projects that we've done for commercial, embedding them back on pages that are specifically talking about commercial junk removal. And that's how you build out that momentum, because you already see this is what people are searching for. If I want to get tons of clicks, but I'm building out something that no one's searching for, it's going to take me longer to build that out than coming in here and looking at something that's already seeing some movement. And then what you can do is once you start optimizing it, you can come into the queries here and you can click on, let's take a peek at junk removal Fredericton. If you click on that particular query, it pulls up the data just for that one. Okay, so it gives you an idea here. It's pretty much stayed top of the line, and then you can just X out that query. You kind of go back to the main one. Fredericton junk removal, you can get a good idea here. And then you can go on through that like that. Appliance recycling near me. You kind of see the clicks, the impressions, etc. And where it disappears is where it would go out of, out of the search, right? So where there's no data, it's either that fell out of ranking or whatnot as it bounced around. Okay, so I hope that's been useful. I hope that's helpful when it comes to taking the data that comes through Search Console, using it to inform your SEO process, and then using it to build more things out. What else can you do in here? You can do a URL inspection. So inside of here, this is how you can index your pages. So you definitely want to index your pages, but we can inspect the URL. what I did is I just went to URL inspection. I typed in my URL on here, or I copied it in here, and then it ran it to see. So you've got a couple things in the schema that need to be worked on. But if you've made a bunch of changes and you're not seeing them show up, you can request indexing here. This is useful when your site's first live. It's useful if you make a bunch of changes on the site. You can request indexing. It'll run through this, and then it'll say, your site's been put in a queue for indexing. And requesting indexing multiple times, it's going to tell you it's not going to make a difference because they're going to come around to it when they've got the space and the bandwidth to do that. So it does that. I'm going to cancel it so I don't waste your time here. But you can kind of go through all the different pages that are indexed, all of that. Your sitemap here, you want to grab that from your web guy or from your website and make sure that that's in there, because that updates when you build things out. You can add users in here. You can do different things here and go on through there. But that's the main way that I think this will be very useful for you guys, is go into the performance tab here. And like here, you can play around with the search queries, play around with that stuff, and use it to inform your content that you're going to be writing, inform the videos that you're going to be making, inform the optimization on your Google business listing. Really start to see some results with SEO and start to see things pop. So hope that's been useful. If you found this helpful, please share this out. Please check out some of the other videos that we've done. We're always trying to add value. And if you have questions on videos that we can provide that I can do for you, drop them in the comments below. Talk to you soon.